Hello, welcome back to another fantastic, fun and happy and exciting YouTube video with your host, me, Stephen Bridges. Today's video will be less exciting than the average video that I upload. I'm doing a bit of an update video and also a Q&A mixed in. That does not mean that we won't have a great time. It just means that there will be less of the magic and more of the chit-chat. Firstly, the update section, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that bought my merch. I've seen some happy tweets from people that have got their t-shirt or they've got their hoodie in the post and they're really happy with how it's turned out. So I'm very, very happy that you guys are happy. And if you do want to still snag a t-shirt or a hoodie, the link is in the description. The second update is that I tried doing something new. I tried doing magic in a format that I had never done before, and that is that I arranged 4 shows to happen in a coffee shop, but not just like a normal show, a close-up show, and taking the word close up, or the words close up, and taking them very, very literally. Not that people were like stood right here, but that I did it for just 6 audience members. So I limited the tickets to 6 people, and I've done 2 of the shows so far, and they went really, really well. So it's just this really cool thing, sat around a table, doing some magic, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was awesome, and thank you if you're one of the people that came to that. If you didn't hear about this, and you're wondering, why didn't I hear about this? It's because I'm doing it as a little bit of a test, so I didn't sort of talk about it in videos or anything like that. I just announced it on my mailing list. I have a live shows mailing list, which has been linked in the description to like all my videos for the past while. So if you're on that list, you'll have got an email saying, hey, here's the show, buy a ticket. And that's how people find out. I also mentioned it on Instagram and Twitter. But I am mentioning it now for you because I do have 2 shows remaining on this little test run, and they're on Friday, so they're literally in a couple of days. The Friday evening show is already sold out, and I believe that the 4 p.m. show on Friday has 4 tickets remaining at the time of recording this. If you do want to see that show live, as I say, there's still a couple of tickets left, so the link will be in the description. But I am planning on doing a bigger run of these shows. So I'm going to do that in maybe November, maybe December. I've not quite said it yet. If you do want to know, the first place I'm going to announce it is on the mailing list. That's the first place. So if you do want to come and watch me live in London, please go and sign up to that mailing list. Will it happen in other countries and other cities? Maybe. Will it happen soon? Not yet, because for the time being, let's just get this working in London and then I'll see about, other places. I know I get so many messages from you guys asking, when are you going to be in America, or when are you going to be here, or etc, etc. I do want to be in all of those places and more, but yeah, just got to figure it all out.
So we've just come out of seeing Stephen Bridges' live show, and it was amazing. Much better than seeing it on YouTube. If he does any more of these close-up live shows, they are fantastic. So yeah. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you.
Which brings me to the third update, which is, I don't know, I probably shouldn't mention this, but I feel like the update part of the video is incomplete with just 2 updates. So here's the third incredibly vague update, which is that I've been working on a new sort of series for my YouTube channel. So in the same way that the busking videos took my channel in a bit of a new direction, this will very much be doing that. It's a series about something that I've got to keep this really cryptic. Basically, I can't tell you what it is because me telling you what it is will affect my ability to make the series. But I just want you to know that if I haven't been uploading videos as regularly in the past few months, or I'm not so regular in the next couple of months, it's not because I'm being lazy, it's because I've been working on this new series type thing that I think you are gonna really like. And just to sort of like tease it without telling you anything about it, this is something that I had an idea to do years ago and just thought would not be a possibility, and just was one of those ideas that's like, that's a really cool idea, wish I could make that happen, not gonna make it happen. And now it's actually happening. I think most of you are gonna absolutely love it. It is definitely putting myself in a very challenging situation, and I know that a lot of you like when I challenge myself. So anyway, just wanted to let you know, that'll probably be coming out sometime next year. I've got to film it first. It's a long story. I'll move on. So now that rambly update is over, let us dive into a good old-fashioned Q&A. I went to Instagram.com, and I went to Twitter.com, and I posted it onto those mediums asking you to ask me some questions for me to answer right here, right now, and that is what we're gonna do. Do you think magic has a place on Twitch, like live shows and chat interaction? Yes, I think that Twitch has got huge potential for magicians, and it is basically completely untapped right now. I've considered doing it, but then I'm trying to like just maintain uploading videos on this channel and doing my street shows and then trying to do my live show. I think that one of the problems that I get in life is that I try too many things, and it means a bit of a lack of focus. So I'm leaving Twitch right now to the side, but I think that it's a really interesting medium. The problem that it has is that for the most part, as far as I'm aware, if you're a Twitch streamer, you're streaming like every single day, you do a lot of streams, and that's kind of how it works. But if you're going to plan a magic show, then do it on Twitch. Once the audience has seen it, they're not going to really want to watch it again, or if they want to watch it again, they're not going to want to watch it every single day. So you either need a new show every day or every time you stream, which would be very, very difficult and creatively taxing for, and I mean, I would get burnt out if I was trying to do that, or you need a new audience every time you stream, which I think is kind of against the sort of medium itself. You know what I mean? It's about acquiring and building up an audience that want to tune in with you regularly. But that doesn't mean I don't think it can work. I just think that the format that I'm thinking about this in a traditional show, now let's stick it on a live stream. But I think the format that it will take when someone does it and they crack it, and it will be done, will be very, very different to what we're expecting. So I'm really, really excited to see what some creative magician does on Twitch. I don't think that creative magician is going to be me, but I think that the medium has a lot of potential for magicians. What is the most important thing you had to learn or understand about magic? This is a really tough question because it's basically asking, of all the things you know about magic, of all the things you've learned, what's the one takeaway? Which is like very, very difficult to answer. However, whenever I'm asked this question, there is always something that pops to mind. There is always one bit of advice that I'm really glad that I read. And that is from Darren Brown's book, Absolute Magic. And he talks about how you should treat the magic moment, like the moment that the magic happens, seriously. That doesn't mean that you have to be a serious performer. It doesn't mean you have to have a very, hello, I am serious and I perform like this. I am a wizard. Watch me be a wizard. You don't have to act like that at all. You can be quite lighthearted, you can be funny, you can do comedy. But at the moment when that magic happens, that moment should be treated like it is magic, like something impossible is happening. One of the examples I see of people sort of messing this up a bit is a lot of street performers doing magic are so used to cracking so many jokes constantly to keep their audience entertained that they'll sometimes make a joke during that magical moment. So that would be the equivalent of me opening up the lemon to show that the note is inside the lemon, which is like a dramatic moment, and going, oh, don't want to get lemon juice in my eye, hey, 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 and making jokes about it. And that sort of just subverts the sort of the tension and makes the magic feel less magical. Whatever magic you're doing, if you are a magician, always treat that magical moment seriously. You don't have to take yourself seriously as a performer. I certainly am not serious at all. But that moment when the magic happens, that is something impossible. And I don't think that you should step on that. That's my advice about being serious in the magic world. What struggles did you find you had to overcome during writing your show? I'm not sure whether this question is referring to the close-up magic show that I've just written for these close-up shows in the cafe, or if it's referring to the street show, so I'll answer both. Regarding the street show, I think one of the challenges that I learned when writing the show is that you have to keep your audience engaged for every single second, because if you lose them for even a bit, they can just walk away. So it's about learning how to write material or just even structure tricks that you already know in a way that keeps people feeling that they can't leave, like keeps them really hooked. And that's the thing about the street that I think people most struggle with in a way when they come to do it for the first time. For the close-up show, I honestly kind of struggled with just writing a 45-minute show. Like I never realized that that's quite a long amount of time. And because my magic is often quite to the point, like here's a thing, oh, it's vanished. Like to do 45 minutes of that is like a lot of magic. Yeah, a lot of it was about thinking about the presentation and how the stuff flows and what material's right and all of that stuff. And that was pretty tricky. I had a lot of help from my friend Ollie Mealing, who basically watched through what I'd already got and then gave me a load of new ideas and helped brainstorm some stuff. And that really, really helped out, making it more of a show and less of a collection of tricks. Has there ever been a trick that you attempted to do, but you gave up trying to do it? There has been probably a few, but in terms of like actually video-wise, I think there's two things that stand out. Firstly, I came up with this whole trick called How to Be Cool, and it was a video where I'd make loads of sunglasses appear on my face. So I'd make a pair of sunglasses appear, they'd change color, then another one would appear, then all sorts of stuff would go on, and it would just escalate and escalate and escalate. And it's kind of like very much within like my domain, like it's doing a lot of sleight of hand stuff, rapidly, non-stop. But we even got as far as filming the video, and when I watched it back, I just wasn't happy with it. And no matter how much I worked on those ideas, it got to the point where I just like started disliking the idea. And also because it was a bit more tongue-in-cheek, like the video was called How to Be Cool, and it was me like making sunglasses appear. I wasn't sure if like it hit the sort of feel that I wanted it to have. And for that reason, I think that's the only time I've ever filmed a whole magic video and just scrapped the whole concept and never gone back to it. Another thing that stands out is if you're doing like sort of difficult sleight of hand, if you're doing that in person for somebody, the human eye is like it's not as good as a camera, right? So when you're doing stuff for video, you have to be really, really perfectionistic. And I found that when I was shooting a trick called Spellbound, that even though I could do it live really well, when I was doing it for camera, it just wasn't quite good enough. So I kept filming it and filming it and filming it, but then I got really obsessed with getting it perfect, and by the end of it, it probably ended up looking quite tense because I'd gone past the point of like just doing the trick in a relaxed manner, and I was like, gotta get this perfect. And I find that that's something that I often, well, I have done in the past, struggle with, is working on a trick so much that when I come to perform it, it's almost a bit robotic because I've just obsessed over the trick for so long. So that's a little bit of a takeaway that I've had to try and learn with. You know what I mean. I got a couple of questions regarding equipment that I use, both in street performing and in just filming videos. The first thing I'll say about filming videos is that whenever I'm shooting stuff on the street, those aren't it's not my camera. Like, I hire camera ops and they bring their gear, so sometimes what we film on changes depending on who I'm working with. But for me, and for this video that you're seeing right now, it's being shot on a Canon 70D with an 18 to 35mm Sigma lens, which is a very nice, pretty lens, just looks nice. I also recently bought a 10 to 18mm lens, which is nice, a nice wide angle lens, which is good for vlogging. I've recently bought the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, which is why the audio sounds very delightful. What else am I using? Oh yeah, and I use the Canon G7X Mark II when I'm filming street show videos and the day in the life of a street performer, because I need something that packs really small and I can just chuck in a backpack, because I couldn't take like a setup like this. It would be a nightmare. In terms of street performing, there's always a lot of debate about what's the best amp, but recently I think that question really has been answered with the Bose S1 Pro, and that is just like a really good amp. It's got a great sound quality, not the best sound quality, but really good, and it's very portable. Unlike most amps, it's got an inbuilt battery. I know that sounds kind of like, don't all things have an inbuilt battery? But most of the time when you're a busker, you've got your amp, then you've got a massive lithium battery that's like this big, then you're like powering that battery into like an inverter, which allows you to plug in the amp to power the amp. And now, got all that condensed into a nice, good amp that's just really great to use. I also use a wireless microphone, which I cannot for the life of me remember the brand of, and I power that microphone off a little like a phone battery charger, like literally just one of those things which you, like a power pack that you charge your phone on, and that does the job really well. It's a much better system than the setup I was using before, and it also means I can get my stuff on and off pitch way quicker because there's less cables and things to faff on with. What's the biggest tip for performing for a crowd for the first time? Well, I guess a 20 or a 50 would be really generous tips. All right, not the best joke I've ever made. We'll move swiftly on. In all seriousness, I think that the best performance tip that you could get in general, other than the whole treating the magic moment seriously thing, is that if you're having fun and you're having a good time, your audience will. It doesn't matter how good a magician you are, if you're tense and nervous and just like, then they'll also feel a bit tense and they won't enjoy it as much. So you might make mistakes, you might not, you might do a great job with the trick, you might mess it up, but either way, if you have a good time and you don't take yourself too seriously, the audience will have a good time too. I also got a very similar question, which was advice for performing magic at school. If this is like in a close-up setting, then I would just say all of what I said before. Just do it for fun, don't take it too seriously, like don't take yourself too seriously as a performer, just do it for fun, and don't perform more than you want to. The last thing you want to be is like the performing monkey, and they're like, oh, magic man, do a trick, and then you're doing a trick. Only perform where you want to. In a way, less is more. Would you rather be the guy that occasionally does magic and it's amazing and everyone talks about it, or would you rather be the person that every day is like, pick a card, pick a card? So that's what I'd say. But yeah, basically just have fun with it and don't overdo it. Perform as much as you want. Don't let other people push you into doing loads of tricks. That's all the questions we have time for today on the Stephen Bridges YouTube channel. But if you would like to join that mailing list to find out when I'm doing a live show, do that. That'd be swell. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you!